Are you ready for a silly day? I did the hard work. I got us out a mile. It's a little, hope you don't get seasick today. It's not that bad, but it's supposed to get really nice this afternoon. I decided, you know what? I think I'll be able to fish comfortably for about a mile. And as the conditions improve, I'm going to push out something. So today I decided I put 20 new waypoints in out here in the Florida Keys. Never fished any of this stuff. Maybe a few I have, but we're talking 2-3 years at least now. So pretty much brand new. And we're going to throw lures at it, fish it like a kook, goober, maximum gooberage. Hopefully we can get on some nice sized fish today. And hopefully, most importantly, hopefully this weather really lays down. It was blowing pretty good early. I put my faith in Windy and Wind Finder to say, yeah, it's going to be a nice afternoon. But worst comes to worst, we're going to just sit out here in this 1 mile range and find some spots. And I hope, like I said, not get you guys seasick and have a couple nice bites for it. So, you know, where do you get spots from? Most fish finders, I mean, I'm a dinosaur now. This is like ancient. I'm operating on Windows 95 with my kayak. But it keeps it exciting for me because, you know, I've got plenty of mysteries I'm going to bump into. But Google Maps here in the Florida Keys are great because you can see all the dark patches and stuff like that. Google Maps, Apple Maps. And then you have your preloaded charts, and then you got external apps like Navionics, all that stuff. So this first drop, I've never seen what this bottom even looks like. There might not even be any bottom where I'm headed. But drift does feel pretty fast. I'm going from north to south at about, 3 miles an hour with the wind on my butt. So we're gonna have to figure out how to set up on some of this stuff momentarily here. So I'm gonna drift into this spot. I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing. I don't even know if this spot is worth a darn. But I'll just start with a large profile, work my way down, pay attention a little bit if we see something on the surface, and hopefully we find some fish, man. You don't need crazy structure, but we're looking for just, contour and dips and something significant enough that might give us a bite or two. Just kind of cast and search. Water clarity's pretty decent though. Looks like we have a fast drift from whatever wind is still flopping us around though. Let's see if we get any bites though. Just cast that paddle tail, bounce it back towards us. Really, the game is to hope you find something on one of these drops. Right? Put in a bunch of new drops you never fished before. Is it going to be grouper? Is it going to be, what's it going to be? There's a lot of boat traffic out here today though. It is quite busy. This location I picked. This area seems to get a lot more boat traffic in general, this part of the Keys for some reason. Just guys, transporting one spot to another. All right. I do generally like to go with the current, not how I set up. I don't think I set up right on what I was trying to explore around. But let's wipe off that smudge. This might suck though, you don't know. This 1 mile stuff is kind of a mystery box at times. Gets its moments where it's really good, and then it's like it could be just pretty boring for a while too. Just doesn't have much some days. That's like not a good start right there. Didn't hit the mark I put in, but usually you can just cast around and it's already a decent start to it. But felt that though. It's that stretchy material does foul up a little more on a paddle tail. Looks like there is a rock here with no fish on it. That could just leave us a grouper or something like that, if you want that. Always just look down and see if it's dark or light. Sitting on some pretty light stuff here, but okay, that had nothing. Next little part of this ledge is right around the corner here, I think. Got another rock here. I got a few rocks in this zone that I'm mapped out. Okay. Isn't this fun? I will not troll today. I want to skip the trolling. This will go from, like a lot of this will go from 0 to 60 though. It's not fun when you're looking and you know, you have no confidence, you haven't seen a sign of life, but then out of nowhere this gets good. So what I'll do to just save like a lot of battery life too, and just keep it interesting, as I go from spot to spot, let's power off this camera. See, one of the things I hate doing is running over the spot with my kayak, because you never know what kind of fish are mid-water column or up top. So I always try to like miss it by a little bit and try to cast to the mark that I input, and you know, take it from there. A lot of these big boat wakes today. All right, come on. Fast drift's good sometimes though. I do find like a lot of these Florida Key, a lot of fish do sometimes react a lot better to an artificial lure presentation when you're dealing with something like a mile an hour or even more, right? But what we got going on here is we had the cold snap. First day I've been on the ocean since that cold snap. No clue. Looks like it's pretty dead out here. That's it. You give everything 2-3 casts and you keep going. This ledge. I was hoping we had some life on this ledge. I don't think we do. No mackerels. Nobody here. It's just how it goes. Sonar's pretty quiet too. Sometimes the sonar will give me a cheat code, right? It'll tell me if there's anything there. Right now, no, there ain't nothing there. Just kind of do one more skim around this zone, and then I'm gonna go to the next ledge there. I mean, it's all one continuous ledge, but it's like, you know, a chunk of structure, or, you know, bait, a sign of life. You know, it's all different structures here. It's coral, sea fans, rocks. Everything's got fish on it for the most part, but you know, you get weather and weirdness going on. You'll find some patches that just don't make sense or have much on it for the time being, or whatever we got going on here. But this drop, and what is it? We gave it 2.5 minutes. It's pretty much, yeah, it's pretty much all I'm gonna give it for. If I feel like there's no fish here, or at least fish that don't want to bite at this point in the tide, I ain't gonna give it much longer, man. Screw this. All right. That's it. So that was a 3-minute run. 12:40, 12:30. We gave 2 drops. I go ADD mode out here, man. I go real fast. Just gonna hit this other spot quickly one more time with this shrimp lure. See if we got some smaller fish. There's definitely some rocks here, so I do want to just give it a quick minute, even if it's not the best. Maybe it's gonna have these small lane snappers or grunts. You never know. Little shrimp lure might be the ticket. Go down a lighter tackle for the second pass. Clean boats out here today, that's for sure. First nice day in a while, so. I'm not in any channels or anything, so the channel's kind of out there, but you know, that's how these guys do it. Always got to be careful when you know, boaters that might not boat very regularly. And the Florida Keys has a lot of people that don't fish for more than, boat for more than a week, a year, right? They got their boats, they don't take it out ever. So you got to be extra careful around this stuff. So. All right, next drop. All right, this didn't look like, doesn't look like it got much here, but you know what? Let's just drift back over it. Hop bottom quickly and then keep going. I'm trying to pick spots that I know are probably going to have snappers, not Goliath groupers, you know, stuff like that. But quite a bit of guessing goes on out here. At least for me, I'll never. You know, I'm always kind of guessing what's the good move. I think we might be pushing out a little further though. This, you know, a certain range of depth could be so dead for, you know, a couple reasons, right? Cold weather, something like that. That's a reason. Nothing's pushing up shallow if there's no bait and it's cold, right? Those two reasons you won't find any fish. You know, even if you have some cold weather fish that like to be around, if there's no bait up shallow, they might not be there either. That being said, the next drop is about, current's moving really nicely today. Half mile an hour, I like that. Help get some fish act real dumb. But let's see what the next drop is going to be, how far we're looking. That being kind of a doozy. All right. Next drop is about 3/4 of a mile, so that's probably going to take me, I don't know, 30 minutes, and I'm going to do a big loop around, start hitting, work my way out to the 1 mile stuff. Well, we do have some growth there on the bottom, but that's all we had. Yeah, and we'll head the next stuff out. See like 2-3 boats on the big rocks. Well, I don't really mess with those larger rocks personally. All right, here we go. Check back up with you in 15 minutes. No trolling. Mic check. Okay. I gave myself a 15-minute run to get to the furthest point I want to fish. I'm gonna take a current back, especially since I got 1 mile an hour drift, you know, 0.75. It's probably gonna be the whole afternoon based on the wind direction I was dealing with. So I pushed out into 22 feet, and then I can kind of drift my way out, and I'm gonna do that big loop. 1, 2, 3 boats on all the larger pieces, but like I said, the larger pieces are no good for me because, you know, it's chum. It just doesn't work out. It's not a very effective way to fish like a boat. So here I'm looking for just changes in contour that are pretty sharp, you know, maybe really small single rocks that are not going to get hit by a boat, or a boat can't set up on them. So it gives me a little more leverage. And even if I try to chum and anchor and do all the typical things, it won't work on the kayak because the stuff I'm going for is that small. So I don't sound like I'm shouting. I'm not. I'm actually a little pumped about where I'm about to get to. So I hope this is good. But the stuff further out I have fished before. This stuff kind of closer in I've never fished before. So, you know, first couple drops weren't a good sign, but we went from 18, now it's 22 feet. I'm hoping it's going to be more than just a lizard fish. All right. You know what time it is, partner. Let's keep on rolling. You know, every now and then the sonar is pretty helpful. It'll show fish, but haven't seen anything like that today. I don't know. Tough tugger out here first. Drifted right over it. Well, hopefully it's deep enough we're not going to spook too much. Maybe it's going to have some fish too. Looks like it's got some, you know, a little bit of grass or something. There's definitely growth. I hope it ain't a G-money spot, Goliath. It's always... Sometimes that's... you map out this one rock and it's just got a Goliath on it. But this doesn't look like it has anything, actually. Definitely had grass. You know, those fish can come from wherever. He definitely had a little bit of a bite there, though. Fish aren't always sitting on those little rocky pieces, too, though. Oh yeah, there's a little bit of life on this one, so hopefully this one's going to be decent. We'll give it a minute. Doesn't look very big, but got to start somewhere. Saw a couple slashes come through the sonar. Could be grunts. Could be any kind of Florida Keys mystery. You know how that goes. A little tap tap there. Couple small taps here. Could be grunts and other little fish. It's usually a nice satisfaction when a large snapper comes and shows up. Yeah, I felt these little fish hitting this. Let's do one more cast with this, and then we're gonna usually like those small grunts and really small snapper, they'll hit those tails and kind of spin it around. Especially when you try to set the hook. That's usually how it goes for me. Okay. Let's try the shrimp quick, and then we're going to move further out. I think it's going to be further out. That's what I'm thinking right now. Shrimp lure is always a good cold weather presentation, though. There's definitely some small fish here. All right, let me just run up a little bit further in front of this structure once, and then, yeah, it's a lot of little stuff. Let me show you what we're looking at here. See all that? I know it's not very HD, but that's all little bait and scratchy stuff. Well, we know it had potential then, but it doesn't got him today. Potentially had some nice fish. Definitely had bait, that's already a good sign, but besides the bait, I'm not seeing too much else here. So. All right. Yeah, this is all little stuff, guys. It's just how it goes sometimes, man. All right, next run. I think we're looking at half mile. Maybe a little bit less. It's a bit more this way. Okay, another 10-minute run here. At least 10 minutes. This is a cluster of spots, though. That's good. So we should be able to stick around there for a little bit. Okay, I got a cluster of spots here and next to some traps, so I'm hoping this one might be pretty good. Oh yeah, we got life here, boy. I just ran over something as I was slowing down. might be a good zone. Got these pots here. You know the pots always have something to them. Not every time, but this is 25 feet, so we got some depth. Pushed out another 3/4 of a mile. Hopefully we got something good here. Just gonna vertically jig because there's a little bit of current here. Definitely looks real fishy where I just stopped, so hoping it's got something good. Very small. It's like really small nuggets of grass and all that stuff. Should be some snapper here though. Whether they're yellowtail, muffin snapper. Maybe it got so cold it pushed everything back into the Gulf. I don't think that happens though. This is a nice fish. A Goliath. It's gotta be a Goliath. Go. Oh. Oh man. Well, we gotta play for the new year. Next grouper season. I think it's a red grouper, right? Yeah. That one would keep for sure. Well, good thing we got some intuitions then. The red grouper season used to be open through the winter, but I don't think it is anymore. Quick here. That's definitely over 20 inches, no doubt. Sorry, dude, you just rehook yourself on me there? You did. Good thing we got these old rusty mega pliers. Yeah, this guy's over 20 inches, no question. Can't keep him, so I'm not even going to bother measuring him, but still, nice fish. Fist pump-ish. Yeah, you get upset, you can't keep him today, but more than likely that spot should have a couple of those guys for me in the future. Gonna make one more cast there. Paddle tails, I guess, are gonna catch grouper. They usually do. I do catch muttons on the paddle tails too. So, all right. What was it? Third drop. We got our first bite. Could be something as simple as depth. I don't know. But if we get one more grouper there, a little tighter. Keep going. This is a fun-looking spot, though. It's got a lot of grass. Not much relief, honestly. I'm a little surprised I caught that grouper there. When you hear a fisherman use the word relief, that means like how much of a rise in depth. Low relief would be like rocks that just don't give you much depth changes. I prefer low relief actually, because it's less obvious. But every spot's different. Something different. I'm glad we at least found action. First couple drops were a dud, right? Okay. That fish is a lane snapper. L-A-N-E. It's not a very large one. Yeah, sometimes you find them in good sizes too. Do typically run that size, but sometimes the lanes do mix with the muttons. Like if you find a zone with big lanes, you might find some big muttons nearby. So we're on to something for the day then. We're on to something for the day. I love it out here, man. Even when it's kind of like tough and tricky and fishing's just kind of mediocre, it's still super enjoyable. Oh man, I got a couple boats coming down. I don't know. I hope nothing weird's about to happen. I'm getting pushed off something. I'm in somebody's spot. You know how it is. I always am, right? It's always somebody's spot, even if it's not. You don't know. One's a charter boat going in. This other boat's definitely scouting stuff. Take this dumb kayak spot, right? That's what he's gonna do. Sometimes I dislike how combative it can be out trying to fish ocean structures. It's usually pretty mellow, but you don't know who's out here. We got some mid-water column marks here. But you get mugged, you just keep going. I don't care. You know, there's plenty of other spots. Not gonna get too bummed out by that. Sometimes it is like, oh man, I was having a nice bite to myself, but it ain't worth it, man. Especially somewhere like the Keys. Don't matter if you're first. Okay. Small bait, a little bit of feedback from that small bait, but not much else. I had a small tap on the drop there too. Yeah, felt that small tap. Well, let's keep moving a little bit. You know, I'm already moving, especially since I'm about to get mugged probably. You gotta also assume every sizable rock gets hit. Not non-stop, but they always get, you know, very sophisticated fishing pressure. You know, live baits thrown at them pretty constantly. Yeah, you name it. So you kind of need to think differently. Otherwise, just buy a boat. If you want to fish like a boat, you buy a boat. That's my saying. You gotta try to piece it together a little differently sometimes. So that spot gave us that one group. How's our leader? Yeah, we're good. No, I didn't feel any rocks there, but those grouper can sit in some funny stuff. This is a Penn Slammer 2500, pretty classic one. Right, I love this reel. It's heavy, it's a dog to cast and jig with, but you know what? Don't make them like they used to. These are still good reels. I have 20-pound Power Pro V2 on here. Did bird's nest half of it the other day. But we're all good now with it. Okay, I made a move. I've never fished any of this stuff we're on right now, so could be good, could suck. You know, you just kind of motor around, see what it's like. A little bump there. Still prefer to cast up at something. Feel like you still get more of an aggressive strike moving it along. Feel like the grouper is vertical, just straight up and down, but trying to get a snapper to eat something. That little cast and pop's always a good move. You don't got to be down there very long too, right? This is a different style of, it's like fishing tree stumps or something like that. That's how I'd like to do it. I'm gonna keep moving. I don't know how many fish are in a spot, maybe a couple, maybe not many. You work through it, move again. Just one grouper there, huh? This next spot doesn't have anything. Little bump there. Oh, there we go. So getting a lot of bites from this guy. So that's why it makes sense to use a profile that's large enough to avoid this fish, right? I don't really want to hook too many of these guys. And sometimes you just still want to stay small enough. Kind of remind me of like a croaker or a white perch spot, something like that. They're definitely quite numerous. I think they live on grass primarily. They don't really strike me as a structure fish, but I've caught muttons next to them pretty often, so not too many other snappers typically, but Goliath actually, yeah. Now that I think about it, I remember I did a video this past December. I was literally one cast lane snapper, next cast Goliath. Do you remember that actually? All right, keep moving. Had that bite from that guy too. Another bite down there. I don't want to go anything really small. I'm seeing a lot of life showing up now. I get attracted to that paddle tail. I bet those grouper eat those lane snappers primarily, actually, now that I realize it. That's maybe why they're next to each other so often, because it's probably a good forage for a grouper. All right, let's keep cruising pretty slowly through here. My next drop is, I think it's right next to this one, yeah. So this way maybe there's gonna be some cruising fish in between these two spots, especially since I've never fished any of this before, right? So you give it that extra moment there. I guess that boat found something that wanted to keep his interest right there. All right, next one. Subtle contour changes, that's all I see here. What are we doing on that lens though? Gotta check on that periodically out here. Yeah, we're good, sorry. I love looking at my chin. Really small bites here too. No muffin here. Okay. Where all these small guys are here, I'm gonna just change the shrimp lure, I think, for a moment. Let's see if there's anything different comes up on that again. Getting those short strikes in there. There's lane snapper, pop, pop, and twisting the tail up. I think as we get to more rocky structure, yeah, we'll probably see less lane snappers. More small mangrove snappers, right? We see something came up out of the bottom here. Nope, no bite on the shrimp. Forward-facing sonar designated shrimp, rather. What happens if you use these shrimps without forward-facing sonar? This is what we used a week or two ago. Well, we got a play though. That's valuable to me, just getting a red grouper play. You know, I don't have too many drops where I've caught, 20-inch plus red grouper. Maybe just 2 or 3. So I usually don't catch them where I'm catching like the Goliath. I mean, the nice red groupers rather. Anywhere I catch Goliaths or something like that. So it's a nice thing to have then. Fortunately, these drops don't seem to have much though. Yeah, that's the same stuff as here. Little lane snappers, same, about the size of my hand. Like those fish definitely can be hard to fish through too sometimes. All right, let's see if we got anything else here. We got one more drop here. Yeah, this is gonna take like 2 minutes to get to, so let's power off. I'm hoping you're having fun doing this, man. I'm trying it. Try to do it uncut. If we get a couple keeper muttons and some other fish, come back to the ramp. You say, hey, I had a pretty good day on my little plastic boat. Okay. Really, the fish finder is not that useful for me. Maybe with high-end electronics, you see all this stuff. You look at your screen even more. For me, it's really looking at the GPS, and then I kind of just blind fish a little bit. It's enjoyable though. Okay, this spot here. All right, let's see. Put a new Gulp on there. Let's see if that makes any difference. Well, at least we got a nice play for a grouper, right? That's valuable. These grouper spots aren't always that easy to come by. Doesn't mean it happens every time, but could be some consistency to that. Not much on this guy though, huh? A lot of times I cast and expect a bite pretty much immediately. I'm not gonna lie. Like that's too long already right there for a good fish, rather, a snapper, or something like that. Grouper's the only one that I might give it an extra couple minutes. Yep. That's it. That's all you need to see, right? Your first bite's a junk fish. It's typically over right before it even begins. Imagine those mutton snappers sitting in that grass. Just waiting. They're not moving around much. They might not be hunting much. But those lane snappers are going to come around in a cloud. When that cloud shows up, it's over. Okay. This one was no good. So we got 1 out of 3 there. That were decent. Fine by me. Let's see. Next spots, guys. We got plenty more to fish for the day. Boats are leaving these other spots, but they've been chummed to death, but you never know, there might still be some fish zipping around out there. sure nobody threw a zoom fluke on him. Okay, out here, I fished here before. Like I said, there was a boat on this for a minute, but who knows? You know, you don't know how good they were fishing, or were they just fishing strips of squid? Were they fishing, you know, legit live baits? Have they been chumming for hours? Was it quick? You don't know. So still pull in, throw a jig a couple times, see what happens. That's how I like to do it still. Won't hurt. Shouldn't hurt. The other thing too is always useful, I didn't mention it earlier, look for turtles on the surface. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. I'll tell you, there's fish right away. Another good choice. Like I said, somebody was fishing here, so I don't know. We'll find out. Craft doesn't make much noise though, so we'll get lucky here. Fuck a good fish. Maybe we won't. It's a tricky game. I think I cast it into some structure there. Let's see. Something there, not very big. A lot of small, little squigglies around here. Okay, I think, yeah, 3 casts here. Next one after that. Haven't had a short mutton yet, even actually. Now I think about it. Okay. Brutal. Never a good sign when you can't get a bite in a spot like that, though. Okay, the next one is right here, so I could probably just keep everything as is on, electronics wise and everything. I mean, camera wise, silly me. I've fished these before, I know that. Caught muttons here, that's what I've caught. Couple marks, looking small, definitely a few. some rocks or something like that. It's gonna be a pretty evening though. Hopefully we can find something without busting out the troll. Not what I'm looking forward to trying to do later. This is very soft. Like this one has relief, but it feels like it's grass or maybe a sand hump. Very, very forgiving structure right here. You just free drift it for a second, see what happens. Doesn't seem like it's got anything on it though. So that boat did hit it, so you don't know. Just don't know after a boat goes through something what happened. That's why you never wait for a spot to clear and be like, oh, I can't wait to get to my favorite spot after it clears. And that's what I did here. Definitely waited for this one to clear. We're gonna just plow right through, but we ain't putting any time in it. Like I said, I've caught muttons here before, but yeah, I don't know. It could be something that's just as simple as spooking them. Could have cleaned them out. You don't know. Small fish. Off there. There. White grunt. There, another hard fish to fish through. Old WG. That's all we need to see here. Didn't get anything besides the grunt bite. All right, bring it up. Time to keep moving. I ain't lingering. I tell you I don't linger. Next spot is going to be, let's see how far our next spot. We got one spot there we haven't hit. This boat's on that big one there. It's a marked spot on a map too. Yeah, he's definitely chilling. Forget about that one. We got one over here. Let's try this one. All right, another 10 minutes. Sorry, I ran over something that looked pretty good. Headed over to the drop I was gunning for. Sometimes that happens, there could be a secondary or third rock or two somewhere in that zone. I got no idea what I might have dropped on. I'm hoping they're bigger than fish. I don't know. We're gonna see. Looks like it's small stuff though. Find a lot of little stuff today. Yeah, these are small. I could tell. Usually you could tell with the feedback that your electronics can give you, even if they're as lame and lousy as my electronics. You can usually tell if it's a small fish within a minute, but you never know. Let's see who chomps. Oh my gosh, I'm eating my words on that. Feels like another red grouper. That's good. More red grouper holes. What is that, grouper? Yeah. It's like largemouth bass fishing for these guys. That's what it reminds me of, more than anything. They fight like largemouths too. Any freighter or leader? Yeah, all good. That one was definitely a short, even, you know, doesn't matter. But we're you know, keeping tabs, mental tabs. But either way, I should probably save that drop because it's a rock, right? Rock is a rock. Some kind of rock. I know red groupers live in weird structures sometimes too. So. Quick drift, man. All right, let's give that another minute or two. I feel like it was surrounded by those little lane snappers though. Definitely felt like those guys were hovering around here. Humming around, hovering. Yeah, those were those little guys again. That grouper, when I held him too, though, I just realized he felt pretty cold. Like, he did not feel like a, you know, warm water fish. It feels like that water down there is even down here is in the 60s. So that might have a lot to do with what surprises we may or may not get for the day. I think these are a lot of these lane snappers again. Okay, well, let's motor over nice and slow to the spot we're headed for. That was the first time we ran over something today and caught a fish off of it that was, you know, bigger than 6 inches. So the problem is you run around out here a bunch and you keep looking. You're gonna find lots of small fish zones for sure. But, you know, every now and then you find the right stuff, that's for sure. Check that hook point sharp. This grouper got pretty strong mouths. They can flatten a hook barb very easily. Using the classic red on white. Gonna torture this dial with fuego till it's probably not gonna be functional very soon. And that's it. A lot of current though, man. It's definitely moving today. No moon phase. Just that the winds, whatever wind you have, it's enough to do it. And yeah, that's how that happened. I was just literally cruising around like this. Before you know it, boom, boom, boom. See if we got anything here. Yeah, there's definitely something there. I don't know what we got. Like we're gonna get more grouper here. Yep, instantly. Right, is that a grouper? Hey, that's a better sign. Man, did he swallow that jig down? No. He almost did. He spit up a crab or something though. Mutton snapper. We need our trusty rusty pliers for this stuff. Okay. Sometimes you find them like that though. That size could be all you see. But I've eaten my words on that, man. I've found like small ones, and then you know, there could still be a decent one in the mix here. Come on, dude. Oh, you need a good pair of long rusty pliers. Get those fish from when they swallow it a little deeper. Let's see if there's any nicer ones here though. How are we doing lens wise? We're okay. Do a quick wipe. Gotta manage some time. It's 2:21. Okay, so let's see. Blowing off these zones quickly though, man. Stop there and then boom, right away. Gone. Feels like it's a bigger rock though. No other bites. It's that one. Another one there. Something small too. Just drift off, you got to get back on it, drift off, get back on it. Yeah, that's a nice rock here. Still that grassy stuff. I'm staying away from the heavier rocks. Still a pretty mild one. But we got to make sure we're not drifting back as far. I think we were drifting a little too far back earlier. It's definitely going to be a grouper on this one. I don't know what this is. Fish ID me. I think that's some kind of grunt. Yeah, that's never a good thing to see though, honestly. I don't like seeing too much of that. See all that stuff down there? It's real fuzzy, right? That means there's a lot of small fish too. Sorry, gotta get you back on the mountain here. My patented mount. Yeah, small stuff again. Get that reaction strike quickly out of a mutton snapper or something like that, but this other stuff can be a little overwhelming pretty quickly, right? So I think sometimes you want to just leave it right away. As soon as that little stuff shows up and it's beating up whatever you're fishing with, you gotta leave. And I think this is gonna be my last stop here, and then we're gonna keep moving. Alright, bring it up. Lots of little stuff. Next drop. Alright, I made it over to a different area here. Let me start with this little silly shrimp again. Looks like it's rocky bottom. No fish marks, but that's okay. I'm going to do a long drift through here for a second, see what we get. There's some heavy structure here with high relief, but like I said, I saw the boats working it earlier, so let me do the side stuff and stick with that for a little bit, see what we get. But we're gonna get lucky. Weather's getting nice, so we can take a couple moves, look around in a moment. Got a nice fast drift, so that always does help a lot. But who knows what these snappers sometimes prefer to certain tides. It's a little hard to predict that part. I haven't seen a thing up top, man. No mackerel, no bait, not a single swirl anywhere either. It's a little disappointing too. Sometimes I like fishing near these pots, obviously for that reason too. They'll have some structure nearby them too, but not all the time. It's kind of a bummer. No, nothing on that drift. 0.4, almost a mile an hour. Let me see, we got some bigger structure here. Like I said, I don't know how bad I want to get on it. Alright, let me try it quick. This is a very big piece of structure, so you never know. I'll give it a try. Got my little shrimp lure. My fingers crossed. As soon as I see a jump in depth, I know I should probably stop. Yeah, somewhere here is good. I don't know. Might not be coral here. It could be. It feels like most of this is grass. Like I see white patches here and there, sandbars, grass, all that stuff. There's definitely varieties of bottom. So red groupers seem to like that. That's what we noticed so far too, right? It's gonna be a tough one. I think I'm gonna end up back on the beach, man. That's one thing that's going through my head. This 1 mile stuff doesn't seem to have it. I was hoping this 22, I think on the beach eventually I'll find something. There's just so much ledge there that I always can find something. Out here it gets kind of spotty and a little more no man's landy for me, that I'm just like not quite as confident what I'm looking for. I don't want to troll out here. Some small fish. I mean, I'd settle for some big jacks if they show up or something fun like that. Guys, this is tough. A couple small bites. One more cast here. It's not a good sign, man. If I can't even get like a small lane snapper on such a big structure, you know, a small yellowtail, just, you know, something kind of a little bit lower on the totem pole, blue runner. Stuff's super inconsistent, man. Looks like it's the dream to come out and do the reef fishing, but it's when it's awesome, I love it, but it's definitely up and downy. But sometimes I like the ledge better because the ledge is so big. I can always, you know, not always though. Apparently, like I said, we gave it that first 30 minutes on that ledge. Now we're sitting out here and trying to hope we're going to get a good bite or two. But I don't think it's going to happen here. So I'm making this slight decision to just keep moving. We got like another 2-3 drops out there. All right, if those all suck, we'll go up on the beach. It's 2:30. We still got time. We got our Berkeley shrimp pretty much demolished there, though. Let me see. I'm going to wait till I hit the edge of this structure and just try the edge quickly, because I know the edges are always good to be on the edge of these rocks. Oh, we got a boat coming though. He's interested in this. Well, I'm not very interested in it. He could definitely have it in a second. Get a few bites. All felt very small. Size of a grunt. Turned into a pretty afternoon though. I'm going to be on the down current side here, right? So your guess about the inshore offshore movements with these fish is as good as mine. This shrimp's got to go. It's starting to foul up now. I'm going to retire this one and take that off. I'm not trolling yet. We know I'm getting desperate if we start trolling. A little more durable Mackinaws instead of Gulp. Okay. There's our next drop from here. It's about another half mile is my next one. Yeah, let's go for it, man. Sonar's empty. Oh man, that's some big ass waves this got through. I gotta pay attention. Tie knots. One of the few things that sometimes suck about all that stuff. All right, 2:43. We got plenty of time. Let's zip over to the next spot. This pot is the only pot out here. There's definitely something up with that. A lot of boats running over this today, but you know what? It's still worth a look sometimes, right? Am I stopping on? I got no clue. These don't look like heavy rocks at all. There's a little bit of bottom down here. At least one when it's bottom. A good bottom, rather. No, not much to get excited about here, though. I have a feeling these would be kind of lame. These are just like little sand potholes or something like that. Next spot I got is pretty good, though. Yeah, these are kind of lame. Little nuggets of sand or something like that. Just small waviness. It's a little bit here, though. I could tell. There's definitely a little bit. You never know. You never fished here, you got to stop, right? That's always how it goes to me, too. Might not look like anything to really get too excited about, but might be good enough. Just how that lizard fish or two for me. Like right there. It's definitely a lizard fish. Or grunt. That's where I hooked a king mackerel maybe 2 years ago. I was trawling through here though. I've never really stopped on here to try to jig and look through here. Lost that king mackerel at the kayak. This is not a very interesting area though. Maybe it's got a little bit of small soft sand there, patches. And just a little bit of that wavy bottom, but no, I don't think this is the right stuff to spend much time on. You never know. I'm just going to cruise a little slow here again. A little bit more slow cruising. Got a big rock up ahead though, you know that. Hard when you don't see any life up top. It feels very dead today. It feels like February out here in the Keys too, you know? Alright, this sucked. Sorry. Ain't finding no too many gems out here. That's all I know. A lot of boat wakes too. Alright. Okay. feel like after this hole, this one sucks. I think what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna head back on the beach. This is a little deeper out here, 30 feet. Just doesn't feel that lively out here. I usually see some mackerel and just, you know, silly little stuff. I think a little bit more than what we got out here today. Beautiful though. Well, that'll all turn around, right? One or two good drops, you know, right away you're like, hey, it's pretty good. I don't know, when the kings are around here in the Keys, do they do a lot of that skying stuff too? I guess if there's bait around, right? Need that bait around to begin with. Alright, I think we need, it's going to take probably one more minute to get here. Boat wakes suck. There's a lot of boat wakes today. I haven't been off of here this year at all, so it's been a while. I've had some of my best fishing around here, this part of the Keys, so it changes though. Like I said, I'm not dialed in enough. This would be my first time out here at the end of January, so I wouldn't know. You know, this is the quietest surface-wise I've ever seen it. Like, no shark, no barracuda, nothing. Gotta watch out for that boat's wake though. Pretty close here. Definitely water's getting a little clearer though. 30 feet. And I probably got one or two more plays, honestly. I do the ledge stuff on the beach. I'm kind of leaning towards doing that, man. That seems to be my confidence these days right now. Is to do the beach stuff. No. Bomb a cast and hope for the best. This is a very small rock. If I recall correctly. Wow, this is crazy clear here. Whoa. Definitely, whatever side of this tide line is, got really clear here. Let's see if that's for better or worse. Wonder if this water might be a little bit warmer though. You get that really clear, kind of tropical-ish stuff. Small. More the same. It's great. Man, these fish are cold. Feel them. Dang. I don't think we're gonna gain much trying a couple other spots, honestly. Cold as ice. Notice those Jerkshad tails are all jacked up out of the package too. That doesn't help. No, I don't know if they still swim pretty good though, even with those kind of mangled tails like that. Come on, just to gotta do better than one grunt here. Maybe we won't. These are all grunts. 100%. All right, I think it's time for me to, it's still 3 o'clock. Got to make a fun decision though. Do I try the beach stuff or do I try one or two other plays out here somewhere? The signs don't look right though, is the problem. We have one short mutton snapper. We had a couple red grouper. Yeah, but we didn't have like a yellowtail. Those little yellowtails hit these lures pretty regularly. He definitely pushed back out. Without a doubt. Okay. Hang on. Gonna make a run somewhere. Let's figure it out. I'll turn it on when I figure out what to do. Yeah, this is some deep blue water out here. See a rock, that rock really stands out like a thumb between me and the Bezos yacht. He's got something on it. And then we're gonna book it. Ooh, got him. Inch home. Not very large. What is this? Mutton? Look at that deep blue water here though. It's like a jack or mackerel maybe? It's a mackerel, that's okay. Oh man. Is that a blue runner? I think it's a blue runner. Bait for a wahoo, right? Look at this different water though, man. This is like aquarium blue. Yeah, those blue runners are kind of cool, I think. Maybe. Whoa, look at all the pilchards, or something like that. First school bait too. This definitely feels a little different than the other area did, that's for sure. Fish can see me coming from a mile away here. That was the only thing to keep in mind. Gotta be something besides a blue runner here. A couple bites here. This little fish still pulling those tails down though. All right, getting real close to this now. All that bait too. Should be some yellowtail snapper here. Got these, I think, cigar minnows and pilchards everywhere under me. I think those are cigar minnows. They like my kayak. Massive school of them. Not much else though, man. Pretty chill too. Not scared. Life is good for them. Let's see if we got any other ideas here. Nice to get a mackerel here. This looks like I mean, with all this bait here, I would think a mackerel would be here too. But maybe not. Bite there. I wonder if these are those lane snappers again. Well, gotta take that one off too, man. Getting too many of these small, short striking critters. Try one more gulp here and then we'll go on the beach. Admit our defeat today. Unless the beach gives us a nice surprise. Yeah, you can probably see there's like some dark patches here. It's far deeper than the last couple areas too. Like watching paint dry when it ain't going down, right? They ain't here. Who ain't here? They ain't here. Loads of happy bait. Happy bait everywhere. Massive rock comes up 20 feet. I'm sure it's got some giant stuff on it somewhere. Maybe a cobia is going to swim up to me. That'll be my lucky day too. Probably only hard structure on the top of this though. It looked like it was only there. Seeing like a lot of really small things. Mostly those cigar minnows though. Nope, no one there, man. Wonder why you can't get any more bites. You get that one blue runner. That's it. Makes no sense to me at all. "30 feet of water here, though. This takes a lot longer to get down. I am puzzled by my lack of catching here. Just some more structure there. Lost our first jig for the day. Definitely a little bit more structure right there, though. Okay, let's get a new jig on. Structure's pretty mild here, though. At least what I got to see. Do a loop knot. It just gets more action out of the jig. You don't need to. It's a weak loop knots are, I think, generally accepted as not as strong as like a uni knot or something like that, but man who likes a lot of jig on his a lot of action on his jig. Man who likes a lot of jig on his action. All right, let's try a darker color, see if that does anything. Matches kind of those bluish colors here. In terms of the life up top, it's minuscule, close to none. Not giving up yet, though. It's such a big area. Maybe I gotta commit to the beach and that's it. So strange when the key shuts down like this, just like anywhere. All right, we don't have active fish here. It's just that simple. What's the nuclear option? What's the final option? It's crazy boulder though. Alright, now I'm on the up current side of it. I was on the down current for a minute because the current was moving hard. We're pretty close to slack tide now. There's definitely fish here. I wonder if it's all those silly blue runners though. Negative Ghost Rider. What a weird spot, right? All right, man. Talk about leaving me scratching my head, whatever went on here. Can't remember the last time I pulled up to this spot and only got a blue runner. Especially one that looks like this. Okay. I think I ran over something here worth stopping on. Yeah, I definitely did. That spot was so weird. Maybe the depth? I don't know what was up with that. There was a lot of fish. Ooh. This one's just half a mile away, and well, it's got lizardfish, right? Is that what that is? These guys are cool. They're cool. I think they call them rock hinds. Part of the grouper family. Get a lot of names regionally, rather. That changes. So, one spot might call them rock hind, another spot might call them Graysby grouper, etc. A little bit of life here. Small stuff again here though. Boy, I looked around, man. I definitely looked around hard today. Definitely a lot of bottom around here though. Like that got a lot of like the grassy stuff here. It's not very hard bottom, but should have fish somewhere here. Yeah, we'll get up on the beach and do the ledges then. right at that pot up there. See if there's anything there. Still small stuff though, man. Try to hit it right at the kayak, that guy. See all the small teeth marks here? I ain't gonna troll. I ain't gonna do it. Not in this video, at least. Maybe in the future, I'll do the trolling video. Not today. See current up here. I'm also not seeing like the good, good amount of current like I sometimes see when I try to do this stuff. Definitely do feel like current's super important. Looks like it's kind of like a shoal actually. It's not coral, it looks kind of shoaly. Where would you cast? You'd fish on a boat probably. Jump on the Marathon Lady or something like that. Wouldn't try to do this goofy stuff I'm doing. Tell you, when it works though, it's awesome. Should have been here yesterday, last year. Something like that, right? Yeah, the fact I'm throwing this Gulp around and I'm not getting bites, this is busted. This is busted. Gulp ain't getting bites, you know it's busted. All right, on to the beach. Gulp should be getting bites from junkfish, etc. Beach, here we come. Okay. Almost on the beach here in a second. A lot of current washing off this little area here. I think it's a rock here too. Hopefully it's decent. That spot back there blew my mind, man. Where did you fish? You'd fish with this guy flying by me. Not this silliness I'm trying to do here. Oh, found some good structure, I guess. Got it back. If you throw Gulp, right? Gulp is one of these baits that is going to get bit by it. Too much is really the problem with Gulp sometimes. Too many things want to bite it. Sometimes it gets the best bites for the day, for sure. In today's case, it's a blue runner. Maybe I gave up too quickly on the shallow stuff. Really shallow, rather. Missed it. That sneaky fish is there. Missed him, but I got his buddy. Oh no. Goodbye. The lizard fish. I hate the lizard fish. Alright, I'm gonna do it. Let's see. We're gonna rig up a troll. Not yet. We're not gonna rig up a trolling plug yet. I'm thinking about it though. This out here it's not good. Not today, at least. This little yellowtail ain't here for me. Maybe there's a couple of them on the beach, but this ain't got it out here today. Oh, this really comes up. 17 feet. Ugh. Feels like snot, whatever that is. Okay. Last cast here, and then we're gonna go. 2 hours. We got an hour and a half to do the beach. That's what we're gonna do then. That was a lizard fish again, man. Alright, you know the drill. Let's get up on the beach. Let's find some good fish somewhere. It ain't happening out here. Snag the eyeball of whatever that was. Going with lizard fish. All right. Bottom of the knife. Here we go. I'm going with the nuclear option. See me trolling. So, I'll tell you what. I did probably, 6 miles so far on this guy. There's one problem with this nuclear option scenario I just crafted up. There's a lot of grass out here. Oh, just picked up my first batch of that. That grass stuff can be hard to troll through. All right, 15 feet. I hope we find something out here somewhere. Hold that rod and you go pop, pop. You know, if you look for flat rocks, you know, whatever you can find out here, it's usually fine. And every now and then I get lucky and I'll find like a big batch of fish. Not every time that happens though. You know, if you ever fish on the Great Lakes, you'll see guys when they're trolling around, they'll use those windshield wipers. Like the mechanic that on your car. And this way they'll get that big jolt forward and that drift back pause. That seems to work really well on a lot of types of fish. This is going to be a tough one, man. Sonar's empty out here, man. That's not a good sign. There's a little bit more life out here now. 14. Running up the slopes here. There's no heavy ledge around here, so it's kind of subtle, but that's okay. You never know. Those subtle. I'm talking to myself, building some confidence here. I'm gonna find some fish no matter what I got to do here. My plug is getting down probably 5-6 feet, so it's not getting down that deep, but I'm still gonna pick up fish. Some aggressor is gonna still come and whack this lure. I hope. I'm surprised there's no blacktip sharks too. That's the other thing, though. Trolling's a blast, ain't it? Blacktips, mackerel. I think they all push back out, huh? Shows what I know about these keys. Water's nice and clear on the beach. It ain't like the water looks like junk. Journey for no bites. Alright. Just gonna put this in the rod holder quick. That's how you have to get a bite. You have to put your rod in the rod holder and take out your phone. Exactly what I'm gonna do here. Put my rod in the rod holder, bust out my phone. According to this, I overshot a ton of stuff. Looking at my map. Of course I did. I mean, I'm seeing some stuff here, like I'm running over a little bit. I mean, it ain't enough. You know, yellowtail would eat this plug too. Gosh, I'm desperate. I'm desperate for that bite today. Should have stuck with those, you know, those little silly rocks where I got that red grouper. Some extra, save some battery just in case we're trolling for the next 2 hours. If we have to work that hard for a blue runner, we're gonna be working hard for everything right now. I don't think a single bite's gonna come easy for the rest of this evening, is it? You ever do this, man? You ever troll like this? This is why I hate trolling. Probably catch nothing looking around jigging, but the main thing I'm looking for here is, you know, if I bump into some fish, I'll probably bite pretty easily. So, you know, there's not much structure, there's not much anything to do with it here. See a little bit of bottom here. This zone doesn't have too much compared to a lot of the other spots I fished, though. Like in terms of bottom, oh, there's a little bit here. Maybe I overshot it a little bit. Oh. Can't say that's the proudest way I've caught whatever I'm about to I have on here, but I'm gonna take it for the day. It's probably a short mutton. He might be a decent one though. This hook is not the best that I've got on here, so. Of course, we've got the Viking going by. Oh, it's a Jack Crevalle, ain't it? No, it's a mutton. It's a mutton. All right, we ain't going home hungry. That's for sure. Got fish for dinner, thankfully. He swallowed that plug hard. What else? Is that a parasite on this mutton snapper? No, just pulled up. I don't even know what that is. That looks like something out of a horror movie. Did he puke that up? Okay, that shallow water mutton bite seems to always be the thing. Which is probably about 20 inches, 21. 18.5 is your minimum size here. So, yeah, just about 20 inches, thankfully. Structure, nah, not much. Definitely enough to hold this guy. They don't need much structure. It's like sometimes they're like red drum. This guy really swallowed that hook deep, huh? Sorry, dude. It's a good thing you're gonna be tasty for us. Okay. This is made by 6th Sense. Those hooks held up. They ain't the worst hooks. Bopping around. You and me both were bopping around, so. Let's see. Sometimes I like to use, like, you know, not the fanciest of plugs, but. Well, if this was a month ago, I'd be like, hey, I got a keeper grouper and I got a keeper mutton, right? So we'd say, probably be singing a little bit of a different tune about how today's going. But yeah, let me just give you a quicker, clearer measurement because I wasn't sure if we, you know, I always have to double check. So that board goes to 19 inches. This fish is over about 20. So yeah, I'd say it's about 19.5. Cool. These are the best size to eat, actually, if you ask me, which, you know, those larger ones are still good, but this size, yeah, fry them up, Great little fillet. Cool. Fast troll. You saw how fast it was going, but definitely overran the spot. So let's see if we can keep this up. Let's bury this guy on ice. Let's go from there. Got that box of squid back there. I ain't breaking it. I do have a box of squid, but I ain't using it. So is that Ice Machine ice. I think it's the Twice the Ice brand that doesn't seem to be as firm. But anyway, all right, partner. Good move going shallow. That's all I know how to do, apparently. One trick pony. We troll up another one. We try to make a couple casts. That's the question here. Kind of marked that zone. I'm gonna put those rusty ass pliers. Oh yeah, there's definitely some stuff here. It's very scattered. Stradic too, right? Stradic did nice. Did a nice job. All right. Cast that Jerkshad around. I really would love to get one casting versus all on the troll, but never fished here before. I'm gonna pull out my phone, make sure I'm got a chart on my phone. Chart on my phone's gonna tell me where I'm at. Okay, plenty more to work through here. Good. Might end up trolling again quick here though. Just gonna give this 1 or 2 casts. See if we get any more. Those fish can be alone. They could have friends. It's a little hard to predict. Usually they're kind of solo acts. The more rock you got, the better. You know, scattered rock rather. I was going, what, 4.5 miles an hour? So I was going full speed ahead kind of thing. Man, this is a tough type of fishing though to do from the kayak, man. Hope you, now maybe, you know, if you watch my ocean jigging videos for years and you see how I kind of do it, maybe now you're gonna be like, man, that's not always that easy. Do that jigging stuff. It's not. Some days it's much easier than this though. This is definitely towards the tougher end of it. And those mutton snappers too, man. It's like, nah, you know, there's a little bit of ledge and decline here, but you know what the thing is? Don't make sense to waste too much time sitting in that spot, even though you got one. I like to think of those fish kind of like flat bluefish that are on the bottom and that are smart too. You know, they ain't dumb. I don't consider them to be dumb. I mean, depends, you know. Maybe offshore they're dumb, but when we're doing this 10, 20 foot stuff, not dumb. All right, another 6 cents shot. Here we go. more trolling. Got that loud kayak. So you don't need that much distance. It's a good cast. That's really it. I got a little bit of a ledge here though. So he was close to the ledge, but he was definitely at least a quarter mile off of it. Like he wasn't on, no, definitely not. But the good thing is I'm seeing more life as I'm getting really close to this ledge now. Do you think my pop made a difference? I don't know. Alright, let's see what this is. Not very big. This feels like a small yellowtail snapper maybe. Ideally I want to find a zone I could start casting around a little bit though. It's crazy. We started, I mean, don't get me wrong, we started out here in 18 feet and we didn't get anything. And then, you know, the sun starts coming down. Yeah, you got a little better shot at some stuff, I guess. Let's see if we can release this guy. I don't think he's a keeper. Barely got him in there. Yeah, he'll be okay, thank goodness. Gotta dig out my rusty pliers. I'm sure I shoved that under my seat. These pliers suck. Don't ever buy these ones. These are from Bass Pro Shop. They don't grab these things for diddly squat. Need those old rusty pliers. Where are they at down there? Not the most organized dude on the kayaks. There they are. Those are the Rapala ones. That's a man's plier right there. So yeah, we did see some stuff coming over right before I hooked that yellowtail though. Well, a couple more blind casts. See what happens. That contour change stuff is fun. It's very mysterious too though. Because it's on some days, man, and then it's not the next. So those yellowtails, you notice they have that tail. It's a very heavy fork, so they can swim really fast for your bait. All their fish, you know. Muttons too. Muttons have that big V in their tail too. So any fish that's got that heavy V is designed for speed. So even though those muttons are kind of a bottom fish, when they want to pick up the pace, they certainly can too. I'm going to just cruise here for a second. There's got to be a couple more patches of fish somewhere. Instead of me trying to troll constantly. That evening hot troll bite. Yay. Not seeing any concentration of fish anywhere though. Wind kicked back up. It's starting to kick back up a little bit though. Not totally slicked out anymore. Let's see what old Google Maps says for me here. I'm gonna see if I could see any rocks here even too. Not really. not quite. Alright, let's troll around. If I had a beer, we'd crack it right now for the evening. It's pretty close to the launch though, so we'll be back. You know, we could fish. We could definitely fish out here for another 45 minutes or so. Seems like the sweet spot of depth is about 16 feet though. Yeah, it is definitely around 16 is the sweet spot. Seeing some life here, a little bit of it. Yeah, I'm seeing some rocks now. A couple of those holes here and there. Should get, I mean, I'm going through a lot more structure here now. Oh yeah, definitely going through structure now. I hope so. It's the most stuff I've seen so far. I like going fast. You want that reaction strike. You go slow, it ain't worth it. How did we not get bit again, though? Is my next question here. Went through so much more just now. Missed something there. Alright, well, definitely had a bite there. Let's make a couple casts here too then. He hit it twice too, I think. Open up any hooks now. Hooks are good. Still plenty sharp. I don't want to troll all evening with you guys. I'd really rather do a little of everything here. First cast. Yeah. We closed that bail. He was on there. Screw that plug. Heck yeah. You gotta miss him on the troll and then jig him. Nice one. Whoa, yeah. Oh yeah, buddy. Yeah. That's a good one. Second keeper. Two keeper muttons. Muttons. Muffins. I'm gonna call them muffin snappers. This was that Berkeley Jerkshad. This one's in good shape. I'm gonna put this one back. You know what I'm saying? Fishing a lot. I don't need another fish today. That's another good keep. Another 19 or 20 inch keeper. Thanks, dude. I'll pay it forward. Maybe before we land, we'll keep one more. That was the coolest thing ever. You run over them. They're probably like back there. I was like, I was looking for that plug. Then you throw the jerk. I'll eat that instead. That's good. That's even better. Right, so to me that's already decent. I got 2 keeper mutton snappers and a keeper grouper for next year. Right? I know this isn't for everyone, and everybody's got their own metric of what makes a good day of fishing, right? A lot of people, a good day of fishing is, 5 keeper mutton snappers. This is just ledge. That's it. Bet you I won't get another bite here. I mean, this is as good, if you really want to, it's definitely like some kind of coral or grass or something there. If you really want to learn how I do a lot of this ocean fishing from my kayak, this is it right here. That's it. That's I do like a lot of this experimenting. I put numbers in, I troll. I've never fished this ledge before. And guess what? Yeah, I didn't want to do it that way of trolling them up. But I'm glad we got one decent fish, uncut, on the jig. This is such a you know, a weird and tough area I'm you know, going through. Because it doesn't have any structure. Honestly, it doesn't even, like, I mean, it's got a little bit here and there. But in terms of how many fish we're seeing on our sonar, it's close to none. So these fish are roaming like mackerel, right? Kudas. Yeah, it's a kayak. A lot of people never see kayaks here. So kayak fishing is also dying, right? Maybe I think 4 or 5 years ago you'd see a few kayaks, but kayak fishing is kind of done. Wonder how fast those fish swim up to those jigs, though. You know, to kind of bump them. There's definitely more life here. Should probably just kind of take note of the outline of this ledge for the future, though. Style Fuego's not bad. It's making a lot less noise than that Certate for you guys, though. That's one thing for sure. So. All right, let's make one more cast here and keep trolling. You know, that might be the way this bite goes down. I bet you that was a school of probably, you know, 5 to 10 of those mutton snappers, probably all swimming together. You know, for me to blind cast after missing one, there was definitely a bunch more that were all like hunting, ready to grab that jig. Oh, missed one. Just missed something there. I don't know what it was. Cast, pop, pop. Cast, pop, pop. Let's do one more cast here, then we're going to do that troll again. If I was your guide today and I gave you 2 keeper mutton snappers and 1 red grouper from a kayak and artificial, would you fire me? Find somebody else in the comment section? I don't know. I also sometimes wonder, right? Like that mutton snapper it hit. I wonder if I was trolling for so long, right? I was probably trolling for what, a quarter mile there? That long troll, those fish could have been following for a very long time through there. You know, that's another thing. It's worth kind of brainstorming or wondering, I guess. You know, I know the boat guys that put their, you know, 3-4 rods out, and they'll just keep trolling until they get their limit of muttons. That's definitely a way to do it too. All right, let's do another round. Another round of that. You know, I wish I saw. Oh, we got some squeaks we gotta hit with the WD-40. Let's see, what time is it? Yeah, we got time, guys. We got a little bit more time. Let's do another round of this, man. Oh, I don't need that cruise control. Ooh. Yeah, we need it. That pedal squeak sometimes kicks in out of nowhere. There we go. Well, we got a couple zones, you know. All the stuff I plugged in Yeah, one of them gave us something. Then the other ones, really, they just kind of gave us not much today. It's hard to say, man. Is it tide related? What is it going to be? All right, we're going to do that pump. What's funny too, the rest of that retrieve, I didn't get another bite, right, from on the plug. Like, I missed one bite. There is a little bit of structure scattered here, like loose stuff. All right, we missed that one bite on the plug, then boom. I'm telling you, I don't like going slower unless I really have to. Faster the better. 5 miles an hour. Let's get it. Seeing more structure, more fish. You know, could be like anything else too. You know, late afternoon, those fish come, show up, and you enjoy yourself. So I hope you didn't get seasick today. Wish I'd give you a piece of that mutton snapper. I don't know where we're gonna bring it to. We'll probably make it ourselves for dinner. There hasn't been too many bites. I'm trying to see where this ledge is too. Like, we haven't seen a jack. Haven't broken off anything. It's just a couple of random fish. This is a yellowtail. Stratic does sound kind of a little janky though. Yeah, it's a good reel, but it does sound a little like underwhelming. Is that yellowtail? Yeah. Yellowtails are not going to do too much in terms of pulling line out off my reel. Every now and then I'll bump into like 14 and 15 inch ones along the beach, but they do usually tend to be these 8 to 10 inches, occasional, just barely legal ones. I think those fish are very adaptable. They can be on anything. They can be on structure, but one thing that's worth noting, besides tangling yourself up, they'll hang out with the mutton snapper sometimes. I've seen them like follow each other into the kayak, so you get that little bit of that crapshoot. You get the cast where you get a mutton snapper and a yellowtail together. I'm trying to call mutton snapper. Did it. I think I did it once today. Okay, let me just see here. I'm gonna do another pass back here too. Ooh, yeah, we definitely have a few little fish here. I'm gonna do one or two loops through here again. Since it's 4:33, it's gonna take me about 15 minutes to get back to the launch from here. I want something that's big and mean, right, to end it out on, like a big jack crevalle, maybe even a shark. I don't think any of that stuff's around though. Okay, let's do one more pass up through there though. I don't think there's going to be too much I'm going to be able to jig here, besides, you know, the lucky scenario of that exact same thing happening one more time. All right, do about, what was a good cast and a half's worth of distance. And back to pumping the rod. I don't see any like grouper, you know, like any rocks that would hold grouper here or nothing like that. No way. Just that drop. That's all it is. Get a lot of exercise doing this, man. That's how you know. I go home and fry that fish, get a pint of ice cream, eat half a pizza. Eat a lot of my calories in one meal, though. I do prefer that method quite a bit. That's it. I did one more pass there just to see if there's anything else. Seems like a couple more of those little yellowtails are showing up on the sonar, but we haven't had another bite from a mutton, nothing like that. Muffin snappers being elusive there. It's not very exciting this way though, right? Let's see, maybe we're gonna find another patch of fish somewhere. I don't say we found a patch is an overstatement. We pulled the emergency cord on the train. That's what this reminds me of. Help, I can't catch fish. Emergency cord. Yeah, not much else here. These fish start to, how should I say, start to know your presence. But man, look, I stopped and turned. I think I had a fish on. Might have had one bite. Something happened there. Yeah, he's on there. Oh, missed it. Small yellowtail again is my guess. All right, one more pass, one more go. Should we go deeper or shallower? Let's go a little bit deeper. I'm gonna try not follow my exact same lines again. So maybe we'll pull a fish out of a little bit deeper water. Yeah, this is a nice way to fish, man. I enjoy it still. I don't know. Yeah, you're sitting down, but there's just like a certain intimacy. A kayak, even if it's, you know, this is not quite a kayak, right? I get it. This is definitely some sort of hybridized half boat, half kayak. But there's just something about this experience that can't be duplicated. It's just doing this class, everything is so much more exciting and intense. It's hard to get distracted. You're so immersed in this. It's even hard to film. I'd rather be, you know, I'm glad I can put out this experience like this. You know, we go out for a ride together like this. You know, you tell me what I did wrong in the comments. Not everybody, a couple of people. Yeah, then we, you know, caught a couple fish. Get your own kayak. do the same thing. What's nice about this ledge stuff too, man, it ain't no secret hush-hush stuff. I'm sure, you know, like anything, there's some really good, like, areas. But, like, man, this is... I'm putting together a catch. This is pure ASS that I'm trolling over, man. It's got a couple muttons on it, apparently, but muffins. Sorry, I suck at this still. But aside from that part of it, it's ASS. Like, it ain't got nothing that a boat would want to stop on. Nothing. Like, those other spots had structure, got a nice grouper, wasted an hour and a half trolling around, looking around, and we're out here on ledgeland, hoping to find something else here. Like, there hasn't been a single mark, like, off the bottom of, like, a sign of a larger fish or two either, though. Other spot we could hit. We got a couple other spots we could hit. I got to get to Bahia Honda one day. I haven't been there yet. Actually, I was there maybe a week in December, second week of December. I didn't do great there. A cobia got bull sharked, and he actually got off my line, thankfully. But yeah, didn't do that great that day. Hey, there you go. You got one pass on this stuff, and it's just like, don't bother. There's nothing to hold or aggregate any fish here. There's no bait. I'm literally cruising for, you know, Jack Crevalle's, you know, striped bass. This is literally what this reminds me of. Just blind cruising the ledge, troll and plug. Maybe I'm going to stumble upon something interesting here. If I pull out my phone and look at my charts, maybe I can really find something interesting to get one or two more bites. Maybe I'll find a Goliath or something like that, but I think we had enough. Yeah. But the simple version of this too is literally there's a line on my GPS, just following the edge of it. Simple stuff. Let me get that rod back in the frame, just in case we get a real good strike here. Usually you do see a lot more bait up shallow, maybe a jack or two, but when I read about these button snappers, so one of the things I love about this silly fish to you know, is, right, you're catching the same fish, but it's not the same. Oh, can you pull him? Why is it not the same? Well, it's not the same. I think that was a little yellowtail snapper. The reason it's not the same is because, you know, they're not holding to a spot. They're literally, every time it's a little different. Where that fish can end up being, it won't match. That's it. It'll change every time. You're fishing for the same fish, I get it, but that spot, that don't matter. It's not really a magic spot. It's literally, it's like chasing a bottom fish that's, you know, acts kind of pelagic-y. So to me, and it's accessible, right, for me. So I kind of enjoy all that. Also enjoy when jacks kind of mix in. I'm not gonna lie, having a few jacks around, just a few, is always a good time. When you don't have many jacks around, it gets kind of, I'd say, a little dull. Jack Crevalle's, you know, you miss them before you know it sometimes. Especially the yellow jacks too. The yellow jacks are the better ones to eat. All right, I'm gonna use the bathroom really quick here. Make one more cast here. I feel like I have like 3-4 bites, but those all could have been small yellowtail. Small yellowtail are very aggressive fish. How far I have to go to get the real flag yellowtail? Is it possible to find those 3 miles? I don't know if I want to go 5 miles for those things. It's hard to go for those. What is this? Mackerel? Oh, that was something weird. I dropped them. Dang. That was a weird bite. Charged the kayak really fast after the hookup. Felt like a mackerel. Maybe a lizardfish. Not the hero we want, but the hero we need. Lizardfish. Get those bites that charge the kayak. It's always a little mysterious, right? Okay, let's keep moving. We're marking fish somewhat scattered, mostly small stuff, but all right, let me use the bathroom quick. Was it 4:46? Let me use the bathroom real quick and then let's regroup. All right, we're back. This the next hour, we ain't powering that camera off. That's it. One more hour to fish. That's it. Hopefully you guys are gonna enjoy something I'm gonna pull up here. We're gonna do one more pass here. Let's go a little shallower. This time we're gonna bump into like 416. Yeah, let's go a little shallower though. I did a couple passes. They were all in that, 15, 18. Yeah. This area seems to hold some life, so at this time. Really, your zone is, down to up to 10 feet is probably your pretty good zone too. But I think the best move for me to do is just keep going through areas I haven't trolled through yet that hopefully have some scattered structure. Right? I want to troll over fish that haven't seen my lures yet, right? Had a bite there. Yeah. Some of these guys from 6 Cents, thank you package. This is a pretty sick plug they got for that price. I think this is the Divine Swim Bait, maybe it's called. Got 20 pound Suffix 832 Advanced. This is an 8-strand braid on here, but stick with it. Of course, we're gonna get a bro in a boat coming at us. I know, I don't own the ocean. I act like I do sometimes. They act like that to me too, though. I wonder if they can get a little closer. This guy, I think he might be a little short. That's okay. So it's probably a good school of these 18 to 21 inch fish here where I'm at today. These wimpy hooks come right out for you, right? Come on, man. These are pretty weak trebles, so I'm not too worried. There's some nice structure here, though. There we go. Probably crushed that, made that hook explode. Yeah, he's probably a keeper, but I'm alright. He's in good shape. Want to get a... Probably going to be like that right at 18. It was a little hard on that hook, huh? Got plenty of treble hooks at the house. That sun is so bright. I got to get a polarized filter for this DJI. I can't. What's up with this hook? I can't bend it back out. Yeah, there we go. We might be at the point where we should probably retire this plug. I don't have any split ring pliers with me. Do I? Nah. We're gonna obviously open it up on our PB, right? I think we'll be okay. Fishing with light drag, there isn't much structure here either, so I think I'll be okay for a minute. Make a couple casts though, see if we get another one on the jig. Nope. That's it. It's all on the roaming about, man. Ain't too much rhyme or reason. One more cast here. Still seeing some life scattered about that's showing up on the sonar occasionally. I'm just gonna do something a little weird. This might not make much, seem like it would make much sense, but since I'm just gonna pick just a different zone right now, right? Well, let's see if this works before we commit to more trolling. I'm just gonna move up another, I don't know. How many feet is this? Just plop into a brand new area where I think there's, the minute I see something on this sonar, whether it be structure or a fish, stop, take some blind casts, like right there, right? I think these fish move really fast. They hear that jig plop, they'll bolt over from there. right here, I bet. It was a bite. It wasn't an impressive bite, but it was a bite. More trolling. See me trolling. I hate it. Gotta buy more ice. I don't have my big white cooler. Like I used to use this big like 40-inch cooler. I left it back at home. That cooler back behind me, it's a really nice convenient setup, but it doesn't hold ice all that well. Like I always find that it just starts to melt quickly. All right, man, I can't really figure out besides the roaming around fish theory. So in that case, let's stick to that. Right? You know, these hooks are still sharp. This plug is like 10 bucks, man. I mean, it used to be. So that makes it a pretty good value. Okie dokie. Wish we had some more, like I said, sometimes you get on this and there's just a lot of jacks and busy work too. So you're not really just trying to catch, it's kind of unusual that the only bite I'm really getting, besides what, I have 1 or 2 yellowtail snapper. But like, it's really just the muttons, and it's not even, maybe that last one was just a ½ inch short. But the last 3, the 2 before that were definitely legal. So, that's kind of unusual. Usually it is just a mixed bag doing this of a lot of smaller fish too. Out here there's just not too much besides these muttons where I'm working through right now. So I'm gonna keep working down this 16-foot stuff for the next hour. All right, we picked up something here. I don't know what happened. Something happened there. Pick up some grass. Something happened there. Definitely, plug stopped swimming. Sometimes what happens is like a little bit more inexpensive plugs, they start to crack. Get a couple big fish on them. So the other depths, right, you could troll through 25 feet, but see, with 25 feet already, what I don't like as much is the plug's got to get down really deep. Like these 5 to 8 foot plugs, now you need the 20-foot diving plugs for the most part. So it's not as fun. Those things create a lot of drag. And then like you don't find yourself in those fun scenarios of like, oh, I had a bite, now I want to cast and try to get that fish again. I'm not going to go too far from this zone. I think that's going to be foolish, at least for a little while, another 15-20 minutes before I really headed in, because we got there. This zone's definitely holding mutton snappers. Mutton. I pronounced the T's by accident, and apparently that's totally goober Yankee stuff. So it's supposed to be mutton snapper. I also started using the word y'all. It took me 6 years, but I think my wife's getting used to it. She doesn't like it. She definitely resisted it for a while, but here I am dropping the word y'all a little more frequently. I love that word though. It's a very efficient word. It covers two genders. I save extra syllables. I love it. Oh man, okay, I had a little bite there. Sometimes those little bites, it's the worst. Like what was going on with the paddle tail, those little grunts and those little lane snappers, they hit those plugs and wrap it up. Look at a head boat coming in, party boat. I hope he's not fishing. In the sledge. He's headed back to Marathon. So you kind of do that pass once or twice and you pretty much, I don't know, it seems like you don't get another bite on that same route again too often. I'm going back through this route again where I had those fish one more time. But I'm not getting much going on. I haven't seen a shark today. It's a very wintry day, man. You know, that's be the term I'd use for it. It's a wintry day out here. It's a little deeper on this pass. This is 19 feet, yeah, about 19. See if that hook we're bending in and out constantly is gonna cause us some trouble. Might. I like to check my drag, see if I'm messing with it much. Another mutton snapper. Mutton. That was good. Mutton. Got him on the eye there. Sorry, dude. Maybe you're gonna pop off for us? Yeah, he'll be okay. You guys headboat fish much? I used to fish those headboats a lot as a kid. It's really where I cut my teeth in. Mostly was on that headboat stuff. It was kind of my favorite thing for, I wouldn't say my favorite thing, it was my most accessible thing growing up. Caught a lot of nice fish on those things though. Oh, suck. Thumbs down. Thumbs down. What? These aren't very large, whatever these are. They're hitting like that one's large. Maybe not. They're just hitting. Oh no, I knew it. It was something funny going on down there. Lizard fish. There's a chef from Turkey. I think his name's like Mehmet Chef on Instagram. If you look him up, he had an interesting, right? You know, they eat lizard fish in a few countries. They have a very white flesh, but they're loaded with bones. But the next thing I want to get to, besides eating lizard fish, because they're loaded with bones, is, you know, in Australia they have a fish called flathead. It's not a catfish. It looks kind of like a lizard fish. So I'm curious, do they have a lot of bones too, or are they pretty much boneless? I don't know. I was just kind of curious. That mutton snapper was definitely a short. It could be a little hard to tell on camera, but you know, I hooked him in the eye. I want to just be done with it. You know, let him go. Get him back in the water as quickly as possible. I think this is like a lizard fish highway right here. I think that was another one of those things. Take your lizard fish back, North Carolina. They migrated here to join me on the day out in the ocean. I want nothing to do with them. I think these are all lizard fish. It's like a certain bite those things do. They hit on the drop. They have a lot of weight. It's like a crackhead kind of fish. I do want to pull them up for you guys, just so you know, you could say I don't suck and I'm not missing this thing. It's definitely a lizard fish that's whacking my jig over and over again. Alright, well, he lost interest. It was 100% a lizard fish. Alright, I want to pull out my chart real quick one more time. My phone chart. And I think we gotta work our way back. Start working our way back. Yeah. Alright. One prong is very jacked up on this plug. Oh, I gotta make a thumbnail, right? I forget. Very important part of our YouTube angling journey is those evening thumbnails. That doesn't have to be an evening one, but you know what I'm saying. My shadow's really bad there now. Hang on. You gotta play this game, man. It's all about a thumbnail sometimes. But this, you know, at the end of the day, thumbnail is important, but telling the story is the most important. And I'm glad everyone's watching. You know, I really like making this new format. I'm gonna have somebody work on. There you go. That looks pretty good, right? Did you click on this video? I guess you did, whether you liked it or not. But yeah, what I was trying to say is I'm gonna work on having somebody edit down a couple of these things, because this way it'll make it easier for me, man. Because I'm spending more time fishing, doing this long form content. I'm still kind of I hope I'm getting better at it and more enjoyable. I'm explaining as much as I can. You know, there's some of the obvious things like, you know, where do you launch from? There's 100 apps and stuff like that from there. The Keys is pretty good for launches. Yeah, every state's different, but this is, you know, this is kind of like a very much my ocean strategy from, you know, the Florida Keys. Unfortunately, North Carolina just doesn't have too much of this. It has in certain areas, but for me to get to some of those areas is always like it's a hassle. It's enjoyable, but it's also a hassle. But then you got places like Virginia. There's certain things you can do kind of similar. You know, trolling in Virginia is probably not going to get you much besides those lizard fish. But what I'm trying to say is, you got Virginia, New York, You can do this, especially Long Island Sound, out on the ocean front. You'll catch black sea bass. You'll catch a lot of different fish doing this. So, what do you think that's going on with these birds right now, guys? Do you think we actually have a Florida Keys frenzy? Doesn't look like it. I wish there was. That'd be so cool, man. I had those mutton snappers up top one time. They were like eating those little pill treats, I think. But man, if you cast it anywhere near them, they were so spooky. I want nothing to do with it. I mean, we haven't seen a thing up top all day. That's like the biggest, sometimes you get a lot of fun stuff up top. You see jacks blowing up, sharks. I think I saw one sea turtle. That's the only marine life we got to see today. And that's it. Surface marine life, rather. Now these guys are feeding on, I don't know what on earth these things should be feeding on. Honestly, what I should, had something whack my plug back there. What I should be doing, instead of trolling through them, I bet you something's pushing. Oh, it's a slick. Like a tide slick. I smell it. It smells like, shoot, we got fish under here. What a goober. I saw a fish bust. Here, they're little dinky jacks. Let's get a couple on top. I think I saw a fish bust. Maybe it was that bird just dipping. Maybe it was just dipping. It looked like I saw like a small, there was definitely a swirl or two there. Dude, how cool is that? How cool is that? It's the Mutton Snapper Blitz. They're blitzing under birds. That's the term us Yankees use. We use the word blitz. I can't get it out. It's usually frenzy is the more acceptable term. But basically when you have birds working and fish up top. Oh man, how cool is that? That's definitely not something we get to see too often. The surface frenzy of mutton snappers. All right, I'm gonna keep this one. All right, I think that's another keeper. Slow start, man. It's so wild how slow that structure was. I can't believe I got them up on top like that, though. They're like swirling, so subtle. They're moving faster than you'd think. It's like this is going to be just interesting to watch their behavior. All right, I'm going to keep this guy. If there's an FWC officer watching me for 4 hours, sorry. It's either, depends. You might love doing that, or it might be the worst day of your life to watch a guy in a kayak for 4 hours, see if he does something illegal. Sweet. Let me just triple check, he's going in the cooler. I'm guessing he's 21 maybe. But, somebody's going to phone in that wasn't a keeper. Then I'll feel like an idiot. I'm like, well, he definitely was. I didn't measure him because I knew he was a keeper. Yeah, this fish is definitely over 20 inches, a little bit bigger than the first one. Not much. Oh, hang on. I'm gonna get that lip gripper on him again. I think the limit of muttons is 5 fish or 3 fish. I forget. I have no need to keep that many mutton snappers. Just, you know, a few is always good. 2 is going to do just fine. We're ready for the selfie, mutton snapper selfie. It's not going to be the prettiest one, but I don't want to get that rod holder ready to go. But you get it. Decent one. Gotta give that the respect that fish deserves and get him in the cooler. Super pumped about that, man. Gotta get a vacuum sealer too for my road trips. Okay. Quick cut of the gills. How cool is that? I think I bled him out. I thought he's not. There we go. Sometimes they clot up a little bit. It gets harder to. Perfect too. Best part is this is towards the end of the day. It's not too hot out. Get a little bit more ice. Got this box of squid, but I haven't used it for anything yet. We can get that back in there too then. All right. Are these birds still working or are they left? They moved down a little bit. Let's take one more quick run at them. See if we can get to them. Back to I bet you if you ever wanted to catch one of these fish on top water, that's how you do it. Gotta tell Aaron, I wonder if Aaron ever gets to see this Key West waterman. He's a really good dude. I've been talking with him a little bit. But does he ever get to see like the snappers up top like that? That hook is so toast. This back hook. Look at that. Hope you guys enjoyed that though. I'm taking it really easy on these fish though. Oh my gosh. I think we're gonna try to do it with plastic then. How do these, it's remarkable how quick these fish know. It's like, they went right back to where I was earlier. Of course they did. Chasing fish on the surface. All right, I'm gonna take this plug off. I think I gotta retire it. I'm so pumped just to see something like this. So these birds are just diving on a little bit bait. And there's a couple of those snappers. They're not like, they don't blow up though. They've really, it's very subtle the way they eat a bait off the surface. All right, either way, I think they're gone. There's like one fish there. They're gone from behind me? No, they went right back to where I was. Of course. There we go. This one bird keeps trying to get that bait out of him. All right, then he left. Great. All right, let's go back to where now they're exactly where I left them. Probably my wake is disorienting some bait. Got lots of excuses, right? Okay, let's see here. I'll put those scissors. I'm looking for them there. That matches a lot of the forage in the Keys, man. It really does. I bet you there's some other fish under these birds too. How cool is this? Place is empty. Birds working. Fish are biting. I really thought that was going to be a jack crevalle that I had hit. I'm getting sloppy here. I'm getting too pumped, man. Oh, I got these fish right under me here. Right next to me. Oh, this is like the most subtle swirl ever too. Dang, I was hoping I was going to get another one. Getting greedy, thinking I could. Just one. Not up top too much though. It's like every now and then I might see one swirl or push a little water. But it's a very gentle surface motion these guys got. Unlike jacks and stripers, it's totally different. Well, it's cool to see that, but I don't think we can stick around too long and chase them back and forth too much. But if you're ever in the Florida Keys and you see birds diving, be stealthy, you'll catch a fish. Guarantee that. That pretty much goes anywhere in the country, right? You see birds diving, be stealthy, you'll catch a fish. I got a Rapala XR8. This is a smaller jerkbait. All right, it's time. It's time to do the final troll of the day. Troll our way home. Beautiful sunset. Well, I am glad you got to see surface muttons. I was telling Rich Fishaholic about it. I said I saw it once and I couldn't hook up when I saw it. Today I finally hooked up on surface-based mutton snappers. That's all I needed out of today. So we kept two, probably had a third keeper. No giants today. These seem to be a little bit more average sized ones. I'm sure there are some really big ones, but this particular plug hasn't gotten bit yet either. I'm a fan of those narrow lips on some of these lures, so I'm going to put some new hooks on this guy when I get home. See how it has that narrow diving lip? The Rapala I have on there right now, I wouldn't say it's bad, but for saltwater trolling, I do prefer a certain style of lip. The smaller snappers, what I do is I usually fry the smaller ones up. I do like them fried. The bigger ones, yeah, maybe more grilled, but I love fried snappers real good. All right, the sunset troll. Hey man, that's as good as I can give you on an uncut video. 3 keeper muttons. Keeper red grouper if it was in season. And you saw it, searching around, hoping for something good. You get you that sunset shot though. as we troll our way back. So, yeah, should have really thought about that part earlier. So, got to figure out. I wonder if uncut it'll be better for me to put in the rod holder and you look at my ugly face all day. But right now I'm working my way back in. Oh, I hit reverse by accident. Silly me. These pedals are real sensitive sometimes. If you hit reverse, you just kind of engage that reverse feature, then you gotta deal with it. Uh-oh, do we have a problem here? We have to pedal home manually? I've had this thing act a little weird occasionally. Put a lot of miles on these drives though. This is my third one rather. The first one was a demo model. It didn't last very long, I had a problem. That second drive, I think when I returned it back to Old Town, it had 700 miles on it, 700 hours on it. And the other thing was, sorry, I'm trying to work this plug as I'm going in. 700 hours on it. And the other thing that was so crazy about that is, it was still working, but the screws started swelling from salt. So it is time to head in though. That sun is starting to go a little low. Yeah, we got about 1.2 miles. Let's get it. We got to call it 5:30. We'll see if we pick up anything trolling, but of course I have one mark I didn't hit, but it's okay. That's for next time. I'm gonna put you back on here though. I want to keep rolling. I think last year I was coming in right about now. I had a hammerhead shark come up behind my kayak right for dusk. It's a good time. I didn't have my camera on, but he got real curious. I don't think that's gonna happen today. I think the water's a little too cold. This Rapala sucks, man. Nothing's happening with it. XR8, I think it is. The shape of that lip is real, those wide lips. I don't love the wider lips on some of these lures. To give more of that, when the lip's really tight on your swim bait, your hard baits, it's gonna really swim in a very tight wiggle. This Rapala one's definitely got a very wide, shifty motion. Most of the saltwater baits don't do that wide of a range of motion. So that's just my take on it. Won't be surprised if we pick up one more on the way in here, but we've already kind of cut it into 15 feet. We're not in as deep water, and we kind of pushed off that ledge that was over there. The ledge kind of runs south to north in the Keys, maybe a little bit of ins and outs, but I'm kind of cutting through to get back to the launch right now. So, but you never know. Boy, we put in miles on this drive today though. I think we did a 10-mile round trip today. So I found a lot of snook. Hint, hint, next video. Found a lot of these snook, but they were also, after all that cold weather, they were acting a little weird. But maybe after it warms up a little bit, they'll get pretty active and ready to feed again. Got one last mark here. Let's give it a little assist here. You got to hit these pedals with WD-40 and the keys pretty often. That's all that squeak is. But yeah, give it that little assist. Get more battery life out of it. I'm still on this original battery from this kayak too. Man, I don't think I'm gonna fish any of these Rappalas going forward, man. Very disappointed with the lack of bites on the way in. I mean, the bites are so few and far in between, I'm gonna do it. I'm just gonna shove it in the rod holder. Okay, and that's a Stratic, right? 3000. If you need a pretty good, reliable reel, I feel like the older ones were a little bit better, but for the most part, they are good plugs. Would own again, for sure. Getting some mosquito bites already starting. But yeah, this is what comes with us when we go out offshore. We have a radio in our life jacket, our whistle, a bunch of stuff in the hatch for emergencies. I only like one box, man. Yeah, that plus a live well, that's too much weight. Slows you down a little bit. I don't like compromising the stability of these kayaks, man. I like my kayaks to perform as optimally as possible, so the least amount of weight I can get away with is what I want. So less tackle, less gear. So this way your stability, you really weigh that down with another 30 pounds of water, live well, and I want to go fast. I like this kayak because it's fast, right? But then I can kind of do the subtle stuff that a kayak can do. So to me, it's a perfect kayak. I mean, minus some things with weight. Hopefully the next generation of this thing's even better. That's really what I'm hoping for here. And the final thing I'm hoping for is a bite on this Rapala. So quite a bit of boat traffic today, though, that's for sure. So yeah, that red grouper, that's cool. I like that. I caught a couple of red grouper that were similar size a little north of here. And that's another play for them. Man, I can't believe we're not picking up anything yet. This sonar stuff was, what a joke today, man. I think I ran over one new rock. And I do this stuff all the time, and you really just kind of, you usually see a lot of stuff, especially up shallow. There's usually like small stuff out here, small jacks and small mackerel. Like to get this plugged to run so cleanly for so long is the novel. It's either this plug is total junk, or it is a Rapala. I mean, that's not total junk. Or there's just no fish. Made lemonade happen today. That plug's getting down at least 5 feet without an issue, I would think. You feel it in your knees, though. Doing this for a long period of time, you do start feeling it a little bit. All right, let's see where we got. We're almost there. Might have pushed the envelope how long I'm staying out tonight. Oh man. Yeah, this plug right here is this guy. A little bit shut. Not that. That's probably what I should have tied on. I think I finally had a bite. Missed him. This is what I had. XR8. I feel like that's a good lure. Oh man. Trying to see where am I going home into? I think up there somewhere. See the channel markers. It's got to be up there. So you have a GPS, your phone. A lot of stuff for that reason. Maybe because I'm not working the rod that way? I don't know. Mad ideas. So I guess I gotta ask, what other things can we do that's gonna be interesting? Should we do a shark video? I don't love shark fishing, but I think every now and then I might get into it. I could get into it. Shark is another one. You know, this is kind of like the patch reef, ledge, whatever you want to call it. You know, I'm not really a chum, and I've tried that chum stuff, you know, my first few years fishing in the Keys, and I just couldn't really get it done with those methods. And I went over a big pile of fish here, man. We're gonna get bit on that. If we don't get bit on that. That looked like a school of either something. It's like 4 or 5 fish arched up tight to the bottom. Maybe not. I know what plug not to buy. Oh, got him. That's the only thing I don't like about that rod holder stuff. I don't like relying on that to set the hook on anything. Small fish, maybe there were small mutton snappers. Oh yeah. Okay, that's not a barracuda actually. That is called a senate fish. If you stop shaking. I don't know how good they are to eat. Maybe later next month. I've only caught a few of these guys. I know they're probably pretty common in certain areas, but they don't seem to be my common catch. You know, they got a little bit of a different shaped jaw or underbite, whatever you want to call it, unlike the barracuda. Might taste pretty good, who knows? You know, barracudas do taste just fine. Marked a bunch of fish there, but it's getting late. Should probably work our way in more than anything. So one more cast, and then we got another 10 minutes to get in. So senate fish, catch and cook. Sure, it's on there on YouTube. I don't know if they get very big though. It's like the barracudas do get to, you know, monstrous size. I haven't seen any larger barracudas lately, but in general, barracudas do get pretty big. Those senate fish, I'm not too sure if they really get to like 3 or 4 pounds even. But I think I marked a bunch of fish before that guy chomped. Oh, we're almost back at the ramp. We're good. I wasn't sure. Sometimes I'm trying not to pull out my phone when I'm making these videos. Oh, come on, man. All right, I'm guessing I'm holding it. Yeah, 2 mutton snappers all I need. Give me dinner for tonight, next day. So tomorrow, what should we do tomorrow? Not too sure. Kind of like going on that this shallow stuff, man. I seem to do better looking shallow than I do going out really deep sometimes. I don't know, I feel like I'm doing something wrong when I go over 20 feet. It seems like I always have my best fishing less than 20 feet. Getting a couple bites out here. Oh! More set-it fish. It's got to be a lizard fish, I bet. All hail the mighty lizard fish. What we got there? A little yellowtail. Got a spot for those big lane snappers. You know what would be really fun one day? Let's just take those little crappie jigs and jig like the big lane snappers, because they're so aggressive. They're not as, you know, particular as these yellowtails and the mutton snappers. Like they'll bite, you know, all day, every day. Oh, brought our kayak down to 1 bar though. Let's get ourselves out of here then. Lowest I brought my kayak's battery down that I remember. Actually, no, I've brought it down lower than that before. Where's that hammerhead shark from last year? I'm looking for him. See, what's good about this kayak too, I think when you get down to 1 bar or 2 bar, it reduces the battery consumption and you can put more torque into the highest speed setting. And that's kind of what I like to do. I wish I had this setting. So it's got like 4 or 5 speed settings on the EPDL. And it's like 4 is just like not much going into it, and 5 is the fastest. But there is like, you can get to this at I hope in the future that whatever setting when it's at low battery is kind of doable. I think I stayed out here longer than I might have intended to, though. All right, I think we're done on the bites, man. Stop marking any fish. Yeah, I'm thinking that's kind of going to be done in a second there. Ooh. I lied, I had a bite. This area, unlike other areas I typically pick, there's not much shallow structure here. So to get those snappers feeding on bait under birds was cool. Those were pure roaming snappers, I would say. Free roamers. think it's time here. Ooh. Still getting bites from something small. Like popping the rod every now and then. Something eats that, tries to eat that little plug. But when you have no structure and it's open bottom, now there's no ledge, there's nothing out here. This is really no man's land at this point. It's really not too much you can expect to get into. Yeah, I don't know if you get any jacks that kind of randomly cruise around, but I feel like everything needs something, right? This is they say 20% of the fish are in, 80% of the fish are in 20% of the water. Well, I'm in the 80% of the water right now at this point in the day. So, man, the sun's going low. No more lizard fish bites, no more sennit fish. A wonderful day to go out here, catch some nice fish. I hope I did this unedited ocean trip justice. Hope I did for you. And then if you liked it, I'll do them again. It's a little different pace than the bridge stuff, because I know the bridge stuff is a lot of action, a lot of jacks. It's fun, but I think this is definitely the quality of the fish we're going after. Is not to say the bridge stuff isn't good, but we got 3 mutton snappers that were keepers, a couple shorts, and just not much else out in the action department. So there's that sun. It's back there somewhere. It's going low. I'm almost there to the car now. Well, you can check the video's description, links, everything used, and well, it's a pretty good day. Sunglasses go on. I could have probably stayed out there for another 10 minutes, but what happens if something happens to my drive? So it's one of the good things about it too, man. A lot of people go fully motorized with their kayaks now. This particular kayak definitely has a lot of extra steps, right? I've got the cruise control feature. I've got the manual pedal. If I have to pedal home 3 miles an hour, it's not the end of the world. It's gonna suck, but I've been doing that for years. So, all right, everybody. Thanks for watching. Catch up on the next video.